Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Tuesday, March 20th, 2018 school committee meeting here at the high school. At this time, I'll call this meeting to order. I'd like to start with introductions. Ms. Fairbanks.
Sharon Fairbanks.
Julie Questucci.
Good evening, Mike Moran.
Good evening, Mark Branco, Assistant Superintendent.
Hi, Mike Flanagan, Superintendent of Schools.
Anthony Tenerella.
Paul Mitchell.
Robert Mullen.
Amy Pazerski.
Ryan McMahon.
Joe Messina, Business Administrator.
Corey O'Neill, Student Representative.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. If I could get a motion to approve the March 6, 2018 school committee and executive session minutes.
I'll second.
Executive session minutes will not be released at this time. I have a first and a second. Any conversation? Discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries 7-0-0. Correspondence?
Mr. Chair, one piece of correspondence Dr. Branco's going to talk about.
So in your drive, there's a letter from Principal Ogden that's going out to select parents of sophomores. We were notified at the start of the school year that with the implementation of the next generation MCAS, the 2019 test will be given at the high school level via computer, which is the shift that our 3th through 8th graders went through last year. So this current sophomore class will be the last class that takes the paper test. And to that end, they wanted to do field testing for usability and questions. So every high school was randomly selected and appointed either an ELA or math section. And we had to do a random selection of 25% of your 10th graders. So we've done that. Principal Ogden has put together the letter that's in your drive. That's going out simply for notification of parents to let them know that this is a process we're going through.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Dr. Branco. Visitors' comments and questions? Seeing none. Share the success. Mr. O'Neill.
Over at the elementary school, Mrs. Carlson's class, the students actually organized a Band-Aid drive to give back to the less fortunate in our local community. Famous Failures is a recent classroom counseling lesson which students are taught about successful people who once struggled and had to work really hard to where they are today. This is aimed for the growth mindset. And Mrs. Maraca and the Tyngsborough High School Student Council are working together to organize an after-school science fair named Little Einsteins. At the middle school, with work with nurse Mrs. Riley, this share station was created where students are encouraged to share sealed snacks they purchase from the cafeteria with other students. So if maybe you got extra food that day, you can share it with your students. The students organized a walk-up where students were encouraged to socialize with others and simply be nice. And students in Ms. Garvin's science class are using a new presentation software, Padlet, to show chemical changes in 21st century ways. The high school, the spring sports are now underway, and congratulations to the girls basketball team, which were finalists in the Central Mass tournament. Mrs. Roy, the media arts teacher, was recently featured in the Lowell Sun for her brilliant work with our new television studio. And congrats to the March Students of the Month, Nicholas Maselli, Sydney McCarty, Samantha Roberts, and Emily Campbell. That's all.
All right. Thank you, Corey. Subcommittee update. We didn't have any. Personnel.
Mr. Chair, it is with great remorse that I announce the retirement tonight of Mr. George Triakis. Over 30 years of service to the Tyngsborough schools as a teacher, as a coach, as an advisor, and currently as our supervisor of building and grounds. They say everyone's replaceable. I'm not convinced yet that's true with this guy in this position. George has been a tremendous asset to the Tyngsborough Public Schools for a long time, and we just like to thank him for his tremendous work and dedication over the years.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Triakis. And congratulations on your retirement announcement. Unfinished business.
Mr. Chair, in the drive, you'll also find the draft of the MSBA SOI. We did receive some input from some members, and I know that Dr. Branco was quick to update that. Anything you want to highlight specifically?
As you go through it, we've updated the section on the master educational plan just to connect the work to the strategy for district improvement, so that there's an educational tie-in in there. we updated the section on overcrowding to make sure it was reflective of our current situation. And there's one more I'm going to point to your attention if I can find it in here. I think those are the two big ones. Yeah, and then the third piece is also in that drive is the closed schools information. So the next step, provided the will of the committee, is that you would make a motion tonight on both of these going forward, which you have, and then our next steps would be to have that signed off by the superintendent, school committee chair, and then it would have to also go to the board of selectmen.
We have to make a presentation to the Board of Selectmen at their next meeting.
For their approval as well.
Make a motion to approve the TMS SOI for submission to the MSBA.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now that we've gone forward with that, now I have to read this,
Sorry.
correct? Alright, so, having convened in an open meeting on Tuesday, March 20th, 2018, prior to the SOI submission closing date, the school committee of the Tyngsborough Public Schools, in accordance with its charter, its bylaws, and ordinances, has voted to authorize the superintendent to submit the Massachusetts School Building Authority the Statement of Interest form dated 3/19/2018 for the Tyngsborough Middle School located at 50 Norris Road, which describes and explains the following deficiencies and the priority category for which an application may be submitted to the Massachusetts School Building Authority in the future. Replacement, renovation, or modernization of the school facility systems such as roofs, windows, boilers, heating, and ventilation systems to increase conservation and decrease energy-related costs in the school facility. Replacement of additional or obsolete buildings in order to provide for a full range of programs consistent with the state and approved local requirements. And hereby further specify acknowledges that by submitting this statement of interest form, the Massachusetts School Building Authority in no way guarantees the acceptance of the approval of an application, the awarding of the grant, or any other funding commitment from the Massachusetts School Building Authority, or commits to the city, town, regional school district to filing the application for funding with the Massachusetts School Building Authority. And that is that.
We need to vote on.
Do we need to
Probably make a motion and second
Make a
vote on that.
motion to accept the language of the MSBA
I'll second.
submission?
submission.
Alright. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries 7-0-0.
So, Mr. Chair, I will move forward and reach out to the town administrator and get on the next Board of Selectmen agenda to present the SOI as written and or as amended by the committee. So thank you for that.
Alright, very good, thank you. New business.
Academic calendar. We have two items under new business academic calendar. Dr. Branco worked with TTAMS, so if you want to talk about it, it's in the drive.
Yep, and so I'd like to give Ms. Fairbanks a lot of kudos for putting it together and looking out for all the conflicts. So we've cross-checked this with our current calendar this year, with next year's holidays, election dates, and everything else. Met with Ms. Garvin yesterday to go through this and to make sure that the union had a quick glance at this. We went through the professional development days, and we're all set to go. So at this point, we'd just like to have your eyes on it and approval.
Alright, has everyone had a chance to look at it?
Yes.
Any discussion?
So I just have a question on the
Yes.
early release days. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 early release days. Is that consistent with this year?
It is. So nine are actual PD days with 7 early releases and 2 full days, and the others are either holidays or they fall on like a day before vacation, a day before holiday.
And some of that's contractual.
Correct.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
just highlighting that there. And the election day is May 14th in 2019.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Alright. Could I get a motion to approve the 18-19 academic
I'll
calendar?
make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? What's that?
Go ahead.
Also,
School choice program.
9B, school choice. Mr. Chair, in the drive, you'll see a copy of our school choice overview for the current year, 17-18, as well as our enrollment proposal for 18-19. We had a lot of discussion about this, and we met with the administration. As you can see on the document itself, we currently have 99 students who attend this district from other districts. We rely on school choice funding. It's important to us. And one of the things that we talked about, though, was as we look at our budget, as we have conversations about moving forward, one of the things that we seek to address is class size in the district. Where we are reducing teachers this year by 4.4 positions and only graduating 2 students out of school choice, by opening up 7 seats in kindergarten and only kindergarten, that will make up for the offset of funding lost by the 2 graduating seniors and then some. And it is our recommendation that we not open seats grades 1 through 12 this year to get a handle on where we are staffing wise, where we are student enrollment wise. And as you know, there's a lot of growth in this community. There are a lot of condos being built. We don't know what that's going to yield. We think it's in our best interest to open up slots in kindergarten, which parents have already enrolled for, and close school choice grades 1 to 12 for 1 year to really see what the condos yield and what that does impact that has on our grade population and our staffing patterns. We don't want to reduce teachers, open up school choice, and have more kids come in after we've just reduced teachers. We think we need to take a breath for a year, see what comes out of the condo development, all the development in the community, and then say, okay, now we can handle this and logically move forward. So we're trying to be strategic in school choice this year. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that. I hope I explained it clearly enough.
Just a clarity question here. The school choice for any students coming from New Hampshire, we receive no funding for that?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Last summer, I heard that New Hampshire was putting up a bill to essentially fund students going to different schools. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to take a look and see if there's that program is passed.
So that's a great. I don't have information on that. That is a great point. I do know what you're talking about. So we can certainly dig into that and come back.
See what we need to do to get on. I know you have to be an approved school.
Receiving school. Yeah. We can certainly get information on that.
The out-of-state students are 17.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not staff member children?
They primarily are, yes.
Okay.
Now, if you,
Alright, just because that was...
They are.
Yeah,
They are.
Question over here.
now if you say hired, somebody, just quit or something, and you hired somebody else, they couldn't have their child come, right? If they
Correct.
wanted to.
Correct.
Okay. Just
Yep. For this year.
right.
For this year, And I think that's, we looked at strategically what we have for staffing. We looked at our sibling patterns, and the goal isn't to exclude, Tyngsborough educators who already have kids in the system. That's not the goal. But at some point we need to do what's best for Tyngsborough kids first, which is why we're saying we've had a lot of conversation about this and about contractual language. So we just think it's the right thing to do to really see what Tyngsborough kids' needs are going to be for a year and then assess it after that. We're still part of school choice. We still have all these kids, 97 next year potentially in school choice that we'll receive funding for. So that's all well and good. And again, we're going to create 7 seats in the kindergarten level. Now, you get reimbursed at half the percentage in kindergarten because every kid counts as a 0.5 because we're 0.5 kindergarten. So those 7 will be equal out to 3.5 students. So that's the recommendation this year from the admin team. And again, all the principals had an opportunity to weigh in on this, and we're on board with just the unknown of the housing and community at this point.
I'll open up to discussion.
How much attrition do we see grades, K through 11? So students who are not graduating, how much fallout do we get typically?
Almost none.
So once they're in, they stay through.
Yes. Occasionally at the grade 9 level, they'll opt for, BG, Greater Lowell,
Yeah.
private school, but for the most part, once they're in, they stay in. Minimal, I would say, is a better answer.
Okay. We don't have any obligation to the state to open it for these other grades?
It's a voluntary program. Some communities don't even participate at all.
We do have to improve the program for every year.
Correct.
Yeah.
We have to vote on it every year to participate in it
To
and
continue to
correct,
participate at the
correct.
level.
And we're still
And once you're in, we couldn't say next year we're not going to participate and put these kids on the street. Once you accept them, you want them till graduation. So it would have to be phased out over time anyways.
So if I could get a motion to approve the enrollment, Massachusetts Destiny
Mr.
School Choice
Chair.
Program.
I'll make a motion to approve enrollment in Massachusetts DESE School Choice Program with the proposed number of available seats.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Okay.
second too.
Finance, Mr. Messina.
I believe the bills are still roaming the table to get final signatures, but there are 11 bill warrants presented tonight. In your drive are the list of warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts. Payroll, we're not doing any payroll tonight. We'll catch up at your next meeting. For the financial package, in your drive are the 3 reports that make up the financial packet. It's the current school committee budget, actual to budgeted numbers, the student agency account list of all the balances of those, as well as the February balances of your revolving accounts. And I will leave enrollment to you.
Very good. Enrollment, Tyngsborough Elementary School, 107. Middle School, 410. High School, 485. Out of District, 22. For a grand total of 1,724 students.
I think you missed about 700 kids at the elementary school.
Mr. Chair, we need to
Elementary
correct
school,
on the-
807.
I really said the wrong number.
No, it's 807 at the elementary school. 410 at the middle school. Now you're gonna have to listen to me read all over again. High school was 485. Out of District 22 for a grand total of 1,724 students. Anything else, Mr.
Just quickly, one other thing, the solar agreement that you approved at one of your previous meetings, the purchase agreement is being vetted currently. Mike Long did finally get a chance to look at it and send us his notes. I've reached out to Power Options and Select Energy, who both reassure me that this is typical, that an attorney may have some questions about it, and generally the 3 of them will get together, hash out the language concerns that your attorney might have, and with any luck, we'll have a clean document at some point very soon.
Alright.
That's it.
We're happy to share Mike's notes if anyone wants to see them as well. Any comments?
Paul had a couple questions, something he wanted to see.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Well, they're gonna charge us if it's not working. It's one of the things that was an issue. So if we close a school, for example,
Mhm.
in 10 years, we would be billed for the 20 years worth of power that it's supposed to produce. That was it.
There could be something, and Mike did send a pretty detailed list of a number of different issues that he wanted to look at, but I'll make sure that's.
But then, on the converse side, if there was a problem with the system and we weren't getting power because of something they didn't do, they weren't paying us for the expense of the electricity we had to buy. So it's kind of one-sided.
I know Mike did, in terms of that, Mike did make a note about the payback amount coming back to us in one of the language articles, so that's probably what we're speaking to, so. I think Attorney Long certainly has that and a number of different items that he'd like to see modified, and, certainly wouldn't push through anything that the attorney is not, Mike's not comfortable with recommending, so. At this point, I think Mike and the two companies can get together and hash out some language that he's comfortable with, and once we get a thoroughly vetted document from him, then it, would probably be something that you could look at and feel comfortable signing off on once the attorneys look at it.
Great.
Alright, very good. School committee discussion, we'll start with Ms. Fairbanks.
I'm all set, thank you.
Trimester 3 starts. For those seniors, this is your last trimester of
Yes.
high school. So be safe, be careful. Daylight savings has changed. Good luck.
I'm good, thank you.
Corey?
I missed Mr. Ogden's presentation last meeting about the class rank, but as a senior who has now went through the college admissions and scholarship process, I would like to support Mr. Ogden in his what he believes is right for the school. What I've found is a lot of colleges won't ask or require, and just my personal experience, I believe that's a good decision.
Did you apply to any schools that require ranking? Or
So the Common App, our transcripts already get sent, so there's no way not to. But all like third-party scholarships haven't required class rank.
Very good, thank you, Ms. Messina.
I'm all set tonight, thank you.
I'm all set, thank you.
Good, thanks.
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
I want to congratulate George Triakis for his 30 years of service. I remember 30 years ago, one of his last projects that he did as a private employee was Mind Tech. So I guess I put it.
Maybe it's time for him to come back and do it again.
Put him back into public education.
Exactly. It does need a little refurbishing, so now that he has some free time, maybe I'll.
Are we going to have him in before he leaves?
We
For a
will.
meeting?
We will. Yes, we will. Absolutely.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Back Flannery.
So sports award night Thursday night this week. Congratulations to the girls basketball team. Great season. A lot of good work happening in the schools, and I just appreciate the effort of our teachers right now. They've had to deal with much interruption into their plans, into their schedule, and they've all been troopers, and they're all looking at me as I walk down the hall saying, "Don't you dare cancel this week." So hopefully we're not pushed in that direction, but thank you to our teachers for being flexible and being patient and really meeting the needs of our kids. It's important. So thanks to TTA.
Alright, very good. I have nothing. We do have a need for executive session this evening to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or to discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. We will return from executive session only to adjourn our regular session meeting. This action does require a roll call vote.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
And we are done. Thank you and have a good night.